So let's look at the thermal aspect of machining. What will be the temperature rise? What will the temperature rise in primary region, in secondary region, and how much is the temperature rise? Is it going to provide thermal stresses on my workpiece or on my tool? And if there are high temperature rises, then there will be material properties degradation on my tool and workpiece. So let's look at this. So since the process of plastic deformation have huge stress, high deformations and high speed, high rate of heat generation is seen. So unlike elastic deformation where energy gets converted into elastic strain energy, and when my external force applied or the stress applied is taken away, they'll get back into the original shape. While in plastic deformation, they will not get back into the original shape. So whatever energy we have imparted to deform that, that is all converted to heat and not to any strain energy. So that's the loss, and that's the main point of concern for us. So 99% of energy supplied gets converted into heat. The energy supplied is the power consumption by the machine in case of plastic deformation. So if heat is transferred to tool, then it can adversely reduce tool life and performance due to increase in heat, that is heat buildup, and increase in temperature. So we know the Taylor's tool life equation is Vt raised to n is equal to C. So over here we did not see that the temperature effect directly, but the tool life T takes into account everything. So for non-ferrous softer material, tool has lesser heat gain, and most goes to chip and workpiece partly. So I have shown you the chart which was showing the percentage of heat transfer to chip, tool and workpiece. So this is very important for everyone to remember. That is for non-ferrous softer materials. Now, therefore, for high deformation regions, that is the primary and secondary region during machining, compression which is leading to shearing, that is going to give away a huge amount of energy. So let's start with the modeling of thermal aspect. So total energy during machining is W, which is WP plus WS, that is primary plus secondary work, or primary and secondary energy. The total energy is FC into V, which is equal to WP plus F into VC. So W was the total power or total energy, and this F is the frictional force on chip. So the secondary shearing involved the friction directly. So that was the frictional force on chip, and VC is chip velocity, and V is the cutting speed. So R, which I'm defining over here, is equal to VC by V, which is chip speed upon cutting speed, and my WP is so WP is over here. So that is FCV minus FR, F into R into V. R is over here. So I've just divided both sides by V, and hence the R has introduced. So by some theories which we'll not look into, my theta P is the temperature rise in the primary region is given by 1 minus X WP upon rho CV T1 W. So I'll explain all these parameters, but this is the temperature rise in primary shear region or primary deformation zone. So T1 W and V, this is the velocity, chip thickness, initial chip thickness and width of the chip. They are the machining parameters, so that depends on the machining constraints. Then we have thermal material properties of workpiece, which are rho and C. C is the specific heat which I introduced to you in the last video. X is the fraction of heat going to workpiece. So now we want to estimate X. WP we already have in terms of the force and velocities. So X is function of workpiece parameters, workpiece and phi. So phi is the shear plane angle, and these are given by some value zeta I or zeta 1, which is Vt1 by alpha is equal to, the alpha has been replaced by K by rho Cp. So K, the alpha is thermal diffusivity. So we have studied that in heat transfer also. Alpha is K upon rho Cp. We introduce alpha during heat equation derivation. So X, again, X is an empirical relation which we have got somehow. There are no proof for them, or even proof are not required. X is equal to 0.15 ln of 27.5 divided by zeta 1 10 5. So phi angle, we already have the estimate for phi using different theories, Merchant theory, modified Merchant, Rhee and Schaefer, etc. So we have the estimate for shear plane angle. The zeta 1 is already defined over here. So this is zeta 1, Vt1 upon K upon rho Cp. So we have all the values of x for x. So we can find the theta p. So all the things required for theta p are defined now. Now we'll come to theta s. That is the angle temperature rise in secondary shear zone or secondary deformation zone. So it is given by this another empirical relation. This is 1.13 square root of theta 1 T2, which is inside the square root upon L, and it is multiplied by the factor of Ws upon rho C V T1 W. So all other things are already known. V, T1 and W are the machining constants. Rho and C are the material constant. Ws we have already estimated, that is Fr into V or F into V. F into Vc, that was force into cutting velocity, friction force into cutting velocity. So the temperature rise in secondary shear zone is here. Tau 1 for this, or theta, or whatever you want to say. This is some Greek letter. So theta is rho V C T1 by K. That is same as what we have defined earlier. I have just taken rho and Cp in the top or the numerator. C is the specific energy, or the specific energy calculated at constant pressure. So we can use Cp. For metals, they are not going to change. Cp and Cv are same. Even for liquids, incompressible liquids, Cp and Cv are equal. L is the length of the contact between tool and chip. So we'll again have a formula for length. So it is effective length measured along the rake surface. So you must remember what the rake surface is. That was the surface on which my chip was going to flow away. And since the secondary shear zone is that zone in which the friction between the tool and the chip is occurring, so we have to take that length into account. So L by T2, T2 is the chip thickness, the cut chip thickness, is equal to 1 plus tan of 5 minus alpha. So we have all the values, the angles are already estimated, T2 is known, so L we can find out. So I have just modified it and substituted some of the things of theta inside this. So this is the modified equation for theta s, and I have taken, or I have substituted the value of L by T2 inside this, which we have estimated over here. So I have just substituted and got the final equation. So this is the final equation which we have. All the values are known: material properties, machining constants, phi, angles, work done, chip thickness. This is the width, sorry. Thickness is over here, initial chip thickness. So the total temperature rise will be theta is equal to theta P plus theta S plus theta naught. Why the theta naught has come? This was the temperature rise actually. So the final temperature will be including the room temperature. So that's the concept over there. So we'll end over here. In the next video, we'll look at a question on this temperature or the final temperature rise in very details. Thank you.